Hey everyone, Tristan back with another video and doing another follow-up about the Audioquest Jitterbug. You've probably seen a couple of my prior videos. I'll post them up here where I reviewed the Jitterbug. I've been using it for the past year, not only in my computer but also on my mobile setup with my Cord Mojo. Also in my car I use one as well, and I've definitely seen improvements just in terms of cleaner sound, a little bit more warmer sound, lower noise floor. The sound also seems a lot more dynamic. Well, Audioquest says that you can actually use two of these on a computer, and I always just use one, but I recently decided to add a second one onto my iMac, and I have to say I'm really impressed with adding a second one in terms of how it sounds. It really did improve the sound versus just one of them. A lot of people said or say that adding one of these makes the sound, as I said, a little bit more like warm, more euphonic, more smooth, maybe more resolving, things like that. And I definitely concur with that. I did definitely hear improvements, but with adding a second one, it just makes everything sound even better. It's hard to explain, just more right on, more euphonic. A little bit less dark, more resolving, but at the same time still really sweet sounding and kind of warm sounding. The vocals just sound just more like right on with using two jitterbugs. It's like it makes me look forward to listening to my music even that much more. It's like I added the second jitterbug and then I play music or play the same tracks that I'm very familiar with, and I'm like just going, yeah man, this sounds so good. I'm almost surprised it made a difference, but it does. So if you're using the Audioquest Jitterbug or you're a fan of it, but you're only using one on your computer, I highly recommend getting another one. It's only $50, so I think it's worth it, and adding it into one of the other USB ports on your computer. So the way that you use two is one would go in series with your DAC, so in between the USB, in between your computer and your DAC, and then the second one would go in another USB port in the same USB bus. Now Audioquest says only use a maximum of two, like per computer or USB bus, so it's not like a situation where adding more is going to do anything better. It's actually, you can't really do that. You add more than two, you're probably going to cause problems or maybe even degrade the sound. So two is the maximum per USB bus, but if you're only using one of these in between your DAC and your computer, I would highly recommend adding a second one, because man, I definitely noticed a difference. It is just sounding really, really nice. Granted, depending on your hearing, your ears, and your system, how resolving it is, you may not hear as much of a difference as I do. Again, this is my own personal experience and listening, with this stuff. But yeah, I definitely hear a lot more euphonic sound with using two jitterbugs versus using one. Even though I did hear improvements with just using one, I hear even more improvements with using two. And it just sounds really, really nice. And I think for $50, it's a small price to pay for the improvements that I'm hearing. Certainly if it's something where you don't hear improvements, just return it or something like that. But yeah, color me impressed for sure. If you want to see what the Audioquest Jitterbug actually does, or want to see my initial review of it, check the links that I have linked up here on the top right of your screen. I won't go into that in this video because I have covered that before in my channel. I know this might sound kind of like an Audioquest commercial or something, but it really isn't. I'm really quite happy with the results of adding a second jitterbug into my system, and can't believe I didn't actually do this earlier. Anyway, thanks for watching, and see you in my next video. For any questions or comments, please see the comments field.